This is the video instructions for what for the juniors is assignment number 2, which is the how to annotate a text and the first story we're going to do. Let me go ahead and get this pulled up for you. You guys have 2 years at least experience annotating texts before, but I wanted to get everybody kind of on kind of doing the same things at the same time. So what I've done, and you're looking at it here, is an instructions about how I want you to annotate for these short stories. And obviously, our goal is to study the text and then to have a discussion about it, and then ultimately to write about it, which is kind of, we will be definitely studying the text, we will definitely be writing about it, and if we can manage to chat, whether that is live on Zoom or if you guys would prefer me to set up a Google group like I've done in over summer reading, whatever works for us. We'll just have to kind of see how this goes. So the instructions here you're looking at, I've tried to make them pretty straightforward in terms of the directions or kind of the steps you need to go through. Once you get to number 4 and number 5, those are suggestions of things to look for. You're not going to find, especially number 4, you're not going to find all of those things on every story. Some of them may be important in one and not important in another. So, use your judgment there. Number 5, is there a shift? We did this with poetry when we did the Tippy cast. Remember, that was one of the that was the S in the Tippy cast. And so shifts are just as important in short stories as they can be in poetry. And so if you see a shift or multiple shifts, then you want to mark those. And then I'd like you to do, after you finish marking everything and you've gone through it as much as you can, then you're going to write a 1-sentence summary at the top of the first page, or in a comment if you're doing it online. So that you've got something to look at. And then here at the bottom, I've got some other suggestions that you can take or leave depending on what works for you. I've attached, let me find it, I've attached a sample annotation of a page of my Heart of Darkness book, my annotated Heart of Darkness book, to show you what annotation looks like if you don't know that. First of all, Heart of Darkness is incredibly complex. And so what you're looking at on my page is way more than I necessarily think you will find in every short story. Different stories, different poems speak to us. What works, some poems or some short stories, I may have a whole lot to say, and others I may struggle to write to mark a lot. So it's going to vary this, but I picked this particular page because you can see kind of my style of annotation. I label things. This page is a section that I call the Grove, which once you read the book, you know what that means. Over here, you've got some other labels. Farther down here, I've got different colors. If you can see in this page, particularly like here, this little sentence that I've got underlined and highlighted, and then I've got syntax in all caps. That was to signal to me that this is really important. And you just come up with your own system. And that's what you're looking at here with mine. You can see what I use circles a lot. I draw connections. Like I said, I label things definitely, and you just kind of come up with your own system of marking these short stories, and that's really what I want you to do with it. Okay, and then the story that we're going to work with first is Alice Walker. She is the author of The Color Purple, among other things, and this is a very short story. I think it's like 2 pages long, or 1 maybe. It's very short, called The Flowers. So if you are working on, if you're working on Google Docs and you want to do this online, then I would suggest using your highlighters, your text colors, comments as your tools. If you've got this on paper, obviously you can use paper, pencil, whatever you like. And then you will turn this into me so that I can see your annotated version. And then I will hopefully be in contact with you about setting up a way to discuss. And then I guess assignment number 3, which will be the first assignment of the second week we do this, will be a writing assignment. And I'll be back with more information about that as we get closer to it.